Good day there, folks, and this is Matt Leger coming at you with a demo video today. We're showing off what we can do in the days of AI with the technologies of 2025. I'm going to quickly showcase for you 4 or 5 different websites here, and you're going to get an idea of what's possible and what we can do for you. The first thing is Rapid Course Company. This is your trusted e-learning development partner. This is a business that focuses on mainly developing courses quickly, as you can imagine, as well as simplicity, right? Taking the complexity out of something that's very technical and very difficult for a lot of people to understand and to let alone master. So we take that burden away. We do all the compliance, professional, industry standard quality, everything you've come to expect from us. Here are some of the projects that we've worked on. And again, this is not to go into Rapid Course Company specifically. It's to give you an idea of the company, yes, but also what's possible with a website. What we can develop for you as far as the web development and the content. So if you're interested, you can contact us. You can check out our work, get an instant quote. Let's take a look at the portfolio here for a second. So if we want to look at these case studies and these client projects a little bit closer, we can do that. And once we're satisfied with that, we get on a call, or if we want to get pricing options, we can go through the instant quote calculator, which I love this tool. This is awesome. So let's suppose we are an L&D professional. We're going to make an interactive course. You can also select more than one of these with branching scenarios. And if you want to pause the screen and read these, or go to the website even, check it out for yourself. I need videos, I need documented SOPs, and let's do scripts and storyboards too. Let's just have basic or maybe moderate interactivity. And here I'd like to splurge a little bit on professional narration, which is always nice from someone with a warm sounding voice. And let's go with accessibility compliance. Standard delivery, 25%. Maybe I can't afford that with my budget. It's fine. Standard delivery, 2 to 4 weeks. And again, this is weeks, if not months, ahead of the big boys, right? And for a fraction of the price. So here, for something like this that would normally be tens of thousands of dollars and take probably months, 7 to 11,000, much more reasonable, and look at everything you get. After that, to reserve that price and to get on a call, you would book here, and this goes to our Calendly to book a call. That's simple. But how effective is this? Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's nice and everything, but it's nothing fancy. That's kind of the point. And the idea here, folks, what makes this super attractive is the fact that this is portable. This is entirely built in one HTML file. I'll quickly show you kind of how this works for another client here that I'm doing some work on. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but this is the one I'm going to show you next, so it works out. This one's called Turtly Man. I wanted to demo what we can do for gamers and creators and content developers and even guilds or clans out there, right? So we can easily build you a one-page website. Has the styling, the CSS, all your HTML, some scripts at the bottom, all baked in here, which normally will maybe not be the ideal approach. However, what this offers you is complete portability. You can take this code now and pop it into any code snippet, and assuming that your content platform supports the code, which most of them do, you're off and running. You don't need to use any of the native features of your content platform. You just simply use the code snippet and pop in your HTML and you're done. So what this does is it frees you up. So someone like Turtly Man here, Turtly Man doesn't want to get stuck on something like Kajabi or, he wouldn't be on like an LMS or something like that, but you get the idea. Turtly Man wants the freedom to be able to take his website and port it to wherever he wants. And he should be able to do that because it's his website and it's his property that he's purchased. So that's the advantage here. It's effectiveness and efficiency and optimization through simplicity and just ease of use. So here Turtly Man is simply a gamer. His thing is he does challenges and does nutty, crazy things that most people wouldn't have the patience to do. Not exactly speed runs, but along those lines, like just crazy challenges. And he wanted to have a website. I was able to develop this in a relatively short amount of time. You know, there's a process to it, obviously, and there's a lot that goes into it, and it's demanding and it's grueling, but it can be done, and it can be done for relatively low cost because it's so time effective. So something like this could be priced at, I don't know, $200, $150 for a website. So think about that. So anyway, Turtly Man, he is a challenge gamer, and he just wanted a simple one-page website to highlight his thing and draw people here and have the latest YouTube video displaying here on the website. He's got a place to call his home. Next up is Core and Rhythm. This is a Pilates, dance, and yoga studio. It's someone who is actually doing things mostly in person but wanted a presence online. And of course, nowadays to do business you kind of need a website, and more than anything it's somewhere for people to reach out and connect with you. And you can also post like different events or whatever's going on, a gallery, a showcase. Yeah, a lot of possibilities here. And again, this is a simple one-page website, but very effective. You know, Turtly Man only had this, and this takes us out to the YouTube channel. Right now, until these other links get populated, everything just takes us out to the YouTube channel. But you could do anything you want there. Like even these cards here could lead somewhere, could have additional animation or fun little puzzles, you know. There's a little Easter egg up here, for example. These are actually clickable and take you out to another Easter egg. So it's just fun little things like that, you know. Even these. The Horde and Alliance symbols are also interactable. So next up, we've got a little bit of a different one, but still a good example here of what you can do. This was made with a web builder, so a little bit of a different style, but the client in this case required that we build with the existing tools. So this was built with web.com, all in blocks, all painstakingly done, you know, according to the client's directives. And I think it was quite well executed. I'm not a fan of web builders myself, especially having discovered, you know, the ability to make these type of websites. I can't see myself going back to something like a web builder, but you know, for what we were tasked to do, I think it was a good execution. And then finally, I tasked myself with creating a new Maple Grove site because I want to get away from, you know, as nice as this site is, I just feel like I could do better. So this served its purpose. And again, it's fine. But this is a perfect example here of you get stuck on this platform after, right? And you have to pay the monthly fee as opposed to these other ones. These folks can take their website and port it anywhere they want at any time. They have complete control. If they want to make a change to some of the copy here, they can do that. If they want to change some of the alignment or the graphics or any of the visuals or anything at all, we can help them with that. So anyway, to finish off here, the last thing that I had tasked myself with was, well, if I was going to reinvent Maple Grove Productions, what would it look like? You know, how do I take 5 or 6 pages of, you know, portfolios and testimonials and everything, and how do I even begin to transfer that over, right? That's where people get stuck and they don't know what to do, and they have to hire some agency, right? You can contact us for a small reasonable fee, or you can go with these bigger outfits and pay through the nose. It's up to you. Or you can learn how to do it yourself, which we can also help with. Point being, it's a daunting task, and that's why people stay with the platform. They end up staying with the web builder because it's just easier, and they end up paying 30, 40, 50 bucks a month on something like this that's, quite honestly, is subpar. It's not as nice and sleek and clean for me as something like Turtly Man even, or Rapid Course Company. Like, look how simple this user interface is, but how effective it is at the same time. And there's other sites that we're developing now, my business partner and I, that just blow these out of the water. So you haven't seen anything yet, but it just gives you an idea of what's possible and how customizable it is. You can do the same thing with something like this, sure, but it's going to be a lot more work, and it's going to be a lot more upkeep, and it's going to be a lot more costly, and functionality is not as great. So all roads seem to be pointing to this, as I would say, you know, this could be your simplest, maybe third place bronze tier category of website. Costly, but difficult to manage. Something like this would be a step up, a one-pager that you can port through the HTML code and have all your styles, your style sheet, and your JavaScript baked right into it. That's probably like your silver tier. And then finally, I would say something like this. And this isn't even the best one. This is actually one that I took that was built in Python, I believe. So like a full-on website that you need to host somewhere and have a database and all these things. That's like gold tier, right? There you can get into like platinum tier even. But that's beyond us, because then you're back into subscriptions. And what we're trying to do here is avoid recurring costs. So no subscriptions. With this approach, and this, and this, this, and this, right? There's no monthly cost other than the content hosting. So that could be Blogger, that could be Content Creator Machine. Most people are going to have something like this that they can use, and there's probably other ways that I haven't thought of yet. In fact, I know there is, where you can host these things for free. So it's one way to really cut down on your costs. And these things add up. I mean, 50 bucks a month times 12 months, you're talking, you know, $600 a year. That's quite a lot. So anyway, this is what I ended up coming up with as a kind of retooling for Maple Grove, and I wanted to specialize mostly on virtual event production. And in terms of the design, I wanted to give it a nice 80s color palette mixed with a 90s computer console vibe. So that's what I ended up with here. You know, this one was built relatively quickly, but there's, again, a lot of back and forth with the code and troubleshooting things, and that's what you're going to end up, if you decide to do this for yourself, that's what you're going to end up spending most of your time doing, is wrestling with the code and going back and forth, troubleshooting the code and trying to figure out why things are broken. And as opposed to this new approach that we've developed, you just get straight to the point. Just build your site, or have us build the site for you, get it done, and then get back to business. Because that's what we're in this to do, is to be conducting business. We're not going to sit here, you know, working on a website for a year when we've got lots of business backing up, and we need to just get it done. And we just need some interface, right? We need some storefront simply on the internet. And that's all. And that's what we can do. And that's what you can do with these kind of things. So that is my presentation for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was informative for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.